You're listening to the Hero's Quest podcast, your source for creating the hero mindset and abandoning the victim mentality. I'm your host and life coach, Tim Holloway. Join me on the quest to unlock your inner hero and take responsibility for your life.
The enemies to action are always good things, but they're lesser. You see, we face competing desires. That means we want two things at the same time, and the one that we want more wins. And so the enemies to action are always good things. And let me give you an example. When I was younger, that I was always into the next book. I was always into the next thing that somebody programmed, somebody released. I was always into the next religious service and all these events. And so I would go from event, from book to book. And then I began to recognize that I hadn't even practiced the principles that I read in the last book or the book before that or the book before that. I haven't even practiced the principles that I got in that seminar and that program. And I was just going from program to program, from book to book. And I'm telling you this, if you mastered the principles in about five quality books, you can really grow leaps and bounds and catapult you into success that you never dreamed of. The problem is this, is that we don't read to implement. Or if we do read, we grab one little principle and implement that. Or we go to a seminar, a 3-day seminar, and take all these notes and walk away with 3 core beliefs, and that's it. And so what we don't have an information problem. We are overloaded with information, especially more so if you read a lot and you go to a lot of seminars or you go to religious services every week. I'm telling you that you cannot even begin to put into practice 1 month of what the pastor says, right? But you're there all year. And at the end of the year, you put into practice 30 days of what he said. And so what it needs to happen is a fine-tuned focus on actual implementation. You see, we hear a lot of information. We see a lot of information, but we don't put it into practice. And so as I talked about last week, we can go to the next book. We can go to more information. We can go to another seminar, more religious services, more TED Talks, more meetings, more counseling sessions, more coaching sessions, and all these things. And we can get addicted to all those experiences. But what we need to get addicted to is the implementation, is the doing, is the carrying it out. I don't know how many times I've seen people week after week come to religious services searching for some nugget of truth that will change and transform their lives. And we are under the same mentality that maybe this book will give me the answers that I need. Maybe this seminar will. Maybe this TED Talk will. And whatever it is, we're always searching for another, and we haven't put into practice any of the principles that we already know. The key to becoming great is implementation, putting into practice that which you already know to be true. And that being said, you don't need another book. You don't need more information. You don't need another seminar, another religious service until you put into practice what you already know and you see some success from that, and then start allowing more information. We are in such information overload. We need to get on implementation and action overload, because that's what's going to bring us the success and the achievement that we want. This change happens within us, one change at a time. You see, when we begin to focus on the areas of dissatisfaction, it's important to focus on couple at a time, one if possible, or maybe another one. Because as you begin to focus on one and you begin to overcome that thing, you begin to communicate to your mind that you have the strength and the ability to overcome your problems. And you start communicating that to your mind, and I'm telling you, it's going to be powerful. Because if you handle the little problems, the small victories, those small victories all lead to big victories. They all lead to big ones. So start small, one small change at a time. As the old adage goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Focus on one little thing that you want to add to your life. And this is so important. Don't concentrate on all the things that you want to remove from your life. Focus on one thing that you can add that is positive and good to your life. You see, you're adding to your life and you're not taking away. I'm adding a healthy snack. I'm not taking away something. And so as you begin to add all this good stuff, right, the bad stuff begins to fall off. And it's the greatest change principle that I've ever known. You do not focus on the negative. You do not focus on the problem, on what all you need to root out of your life. You add these positive things in. For example, don't worry about any of your habits or any of your problems. Add a new habit in the morning called meditation. Add a new habit in your morning called daily inspiration from a book or from a podcast. Add a new thing into your life like 30 minutes of cardio. When you start adding these things into your life, a lot of those negative things begin to fall off automatically. A lot of people would overcome their depressiveness and their mindset just by doing cardio, just by going for a walk or a light jog. And what you're trying to do through principles and all this stuff, trying to root out the negative and focus on the problem, you can solve by adding a positive thing in your life. That is powerful. And when you do that, begin to do that at the same time in routine. Because what you're doing is you're reprogramming your mind. You're programming a routine, and it's the same time each day. And this has created new habits and new structures and new routines. You see, our life is a sum total of our structure. That is our daily life. My daily life and my daily routine is getting me the results that I'm getting in my life. And so if I'm unsatisfied in some area of my life, I need to check my routines, my daily habits, because daily habits is where it's at. So begin to add new habits. Start small. Begin to do them each day. Be accountable to somebody. That means if you're starting a new habit, tell people that you're doing it. That way, it creates some sort of group support. And especially your own family, if you're around them, you already know that you made a commitment to do a certain thing. And so you are going to follow through because you told somebody about it. This is a hard one for some to swallow, but it's this: have some consequences for yourself. And that means you may not like it, but you need to punish yourself. And I do not mean hit or cut or anything like that. I'm talking about you, like, I want to help you understand this before we leave today. It's called positive reinforcement. And that is, and I'll put it in small terms, for an animal, if they perform the task, they get the treat. You know, a job, if you perform to a certain task and the job is structured right, you will get a bonus, you'll get an increase, you'll get a raise and all these things. And so it's programmed in our mind incentive. And so if you do not complete the task, you do not get the incentive. And that's how you punish yourself. For example, if your weight loss goal is to implementation, your plan is 30 days of cardio, 5 days a week. However, you're rewarding yourself. You reward yourself every day, whether that's a glass of wine. You do not get the glass of wine unless you do the cardio. You need to punish yourself. Discipline yourself. I can get that win. I can get that win. And you start programming this mentality in your mind, and you're going to start creating this behavior reinforcements. And it is so, so powerful. If you have any more questions on that, please hit me up on the comments. I'd love to talk more about that. Okay? Remember today to be a hero. That is, I will be honorable. I will be empowered. I will be resilient, and I will take ownership for my life. Under the link, you'll find the Hero's Blueprint for Success. Click on that link. This is our free gift to you. We would like to give that to you. And remember to be your own hero and join us at wakethehero.com. Hold up.